Yo, what is up guys, your boy Raptors here, bringing you a walkthrough of all the cards that are coming to patch V42 in Paragon. Every single card in patch V42 has an effect in some shape or form. They're very interesting cards. I actually had the privilege to play with these cards early to make some decks for certain heroes. And basically, I want to give it back to you guys by showing you guys and giving you guys a head start so you guys can start theory crafting some of your own decks and give you guys an idea of what the cards are going to be brought to you in patch V42, and hopefully this can be helpful for you to give you guys again a head start, since I myself had the chance to play with these cards already. And we're going to go through each one of them, you know, and just break it down, and let's get right into it. Let's stop wasting time. Hopefully this is not a long video. We're going to go to the growth cards and we're just going to go one by one. Chanting Shaman. Shared Wisdom. You gain 50% mana regen for each nearby ally. This costs you 1 intellect. Go to the next one. Coin Master. Okay. Gives you effect wealthy. Gain 8 bonus gold for every 10 seconds. Increases to 16 bonus gold while out of combat. This only costs you 1 vitality gem. I've actually used this in the jungle with most of my junglers. When you're jungling, you're out of combat, so you're getting actual gold. It's pretty good for a starting card. I've used it before, and it gives you pretty good economy boost in the beginning. Reduce damage taken from an enemy hero by 8. Exoskeleton. Hero block. It's only 1 vitality point. Again, good for junglers, good for like Chimera, Grog, Sev, if you want to be a little bit tanky in the beginning. I've actually used this card as well. Highwayman. Gold Mine. Whenever you deal damage to a hero, gain 75 gold. So it's actually an active card, and it costs 1,000 gold. And it looks like you can keep using it. It doesn't say it's a combustible or anything like that. So you can actually just slot it with gold. And it's on a 15-second cooldown. So if you're ganking, again, with like a jungler, or if you're maybe a support as well, you can use this on your support heroes. Flame of Zetchin. Deal 500 true damage to neutral or enemy minions. Damage increases by 150 with each use. Wow, that's actually pretty good. I haven't used this card. It looks like it's going to be a good card in the early game if you're trying to clear out waves, or if you're a carry and you're struggling with last hit, you could probably use this. And it's a cultivate card, so it amplifies its effect. Again, it stacks damage, and you can keep using it just by slotting gold. It's not combustible or anything, so you can keep using it. The Mother Tree. Jungle Restoration. 1.5 mana regen and 2.2 health regen when in the jungle. So this is good if you're trying to sustain in the jungle, stay on the field a little bit longer. I actually use this card on Grux. It's a pretty good card if you want to sustain and just like contest for buffs and be ganking and just be relevant like in the game, not having to go back to base. You can just be spending like attribute points and not have to go back to base. So it's a little good boost in the beginning. Green Spring. Regenerative Rest. 8.4 health regen while out of combat. Again, another good card. It's only 3 vitality points, and it's a passive. You get 20 basic armor too. That's a really good tanky card. This one's actually a really cool one. Pack Leader. Bullseye. Mark an enemy. Nearby allied minions will attack that target for 30 seconds. This can actually be pretty powerful like on a mid laner. If you have like your jungle rotate, you can use this card when they have an enemy wave, and you can have the minions do a little bit more damage. I haven't used it. I know my friend used it with another card called Awaken the Emmerich, which is another card that we're gonna get to later, and I'll tell you about that card. But it's really good with this the second card. Growth Totem. Grow. Gain 0.8 power and 15 max health every minute. This effect has no limit. This is a powerhouse. I haven't used it, but I've seen people use it, and goddamn, it's actually really damn strong if you stay alive. Oh, actually, you don't have to stay alive. It's not a combustible, it's just a cultivate card. That's actually really cool. Again, if you stay alive, like if you're rampage, you never die, this could be actually really crazy. Tyrant. You get jungle health and jungle power. 6 tribute points here. You get 15 power as well. After 50 jungle minion kills, you gain 200 max health. Gain 0.4 power for every jungle minion killed. That's really good on like Sevrog to like amplify his stacks, or maybe like any other jungler as well. Apex Predator Empowering Strikes grants a stack of 0.6 power when damaging enemy heroes. Stacking up to 50 times at max stacks, gain 18 ability armor. This can I think I used this card. Grants a stack of power when damaging, stacking up to 50 times. Did I use this card? I don't know if I did. There was one similar to this, but I'm pretty sure this would be really good like on Chimera for his Unleash. Pensive Shaman. Regenerate health equal to 20% of mana restored. Another good little sustain card right there. Nothing too special. Sprykin. Restoration Link. You and target ally gain 60% of your missing health and mana over 10 seconds. God, that's insane. It gives you 140 mana. It's only on a 120-second cooldown. This could be like a really good card like on a tank jungler. Again, you can see that growth is an actually really good card for a lot of junglers. So pair this up with like a really heavy jungler and put this on a carry. They'll survive in a team fight like no problem. Swift Hunter, Executioner's Rush. Gain 120 movement speed for 10 seconds after killing an enemy unit. This is like, what's that one card? There was a card already like this. I forgot the name of it. That gives you movement speed when you kill a minion. I forgot the name. Vital Waters. Increase all healing effects cast and received by 15%. 7-point Vitality. This is like Clearheart. It's basically Clearheart. If you're an OG, you know what that is. I bet most of you guys are watching this just to see the new cards. But yeah, that's Clearheart. Chorusing Zephyr. Purify yourself and gain 250 movement speed for 1.5 seconds. 90-second cooldown, 75 mana. Oh, this is basically Purity Sensor. But, oh no, Hunter's Gal for yourself. Hunter's Gal right there. Thunder Cleaver. We all know this card. It's the OG Thunder Cleaver. Increase cleave damage by 50%. Deal 100 basic attack damage to nearby enemy units. Also, it actually gives you another active cure as well. For, yeah. Just like, this is the old Thunder Cleaver. Vengeful Mire. Gives you burst slow. Apply 100% movement speed. Slow to nearby enemies after taking 300 damage. This is really good. It's like a passive shockwave, and it's probably really good like on a support or on a tank. Battle Shepherd. Minion Leader Aurora. Nearby allied minions gain 10 health regen and 6 power effect disabled if another hero is nearby. This is gonna be really good to like for split pushing heroes. It only costs 9,000 gold, and you can use it on like split pushing basically. Trapper. Slowing strikes. Basic attacks reduce enemy movement speed for 10 seconds for 5 seconds. Stacking up to 10 times at max stacks. Root your target for 1 second. This is the card to actually use. This is the one I use on Chimera. With his Unleash, you can unleash so many basic attacks and it'll root somebody. It's freaking insane. You can slow them down with your basics. It's like, what's that one card? Ash of the Witch. It's like Ash of the Witch, but more amplified, basically. Unbroken Spirit. Reactive Regeneration. Heal for 3% of your max health per second for 4 seconds after being hit by a card crowd control. This effect may stack. This is basically Thermal Bond on the new patch V42. Wrapping Spells. Ability hits on enemy heroes. Increase your damage against that hero by 4% for 10 seconds. This effect can stack for 8 times. This would be... I wonder if this would work on like a Zinx or something, like proccing your ability heroes, your ability hits. Ability hits on your increase your damage. Damn, that would be good on like Gideon's Dark Hole or something. Group Power. Gain 15 power for each nearby allied hero. This is probably good like on a tank. Chanting Shaman. Gain 50% mana for each regen. Oh, there we go. We finished the growth. So we did the growth. Let's go to the knowledge. First card, Restoration Potion. Gain 12 health regen and 10 mana regen for 10 seconds. This is basically just a regular MOBA potion for health and mana. Restore 5% max health and 5% max mana per second for 3 seconds after leveling up. You can pair this up with like a level experience card and you'll restore a lot of your mana if you really want that. I mean, I think I used this one time. It was alright. Oh, this one's actually really good. Experience. Gain 4 experience for every 10 seconds. This is really good on anybody, really, like a support or a jungler or mid laner or even off laner. If you have like an advantage by getting levels like a jungler or off laner, I really recommend this card. I've actually used it a lot of times, and it's really good actually. Just be careful. Oh no, you keep this card. It's not a combustible. I forgot. Lone bonus gold. Receive 350 bonus gold when killing an enemy hero with no other nearby enemy heroes. So this might be good for like an assassin or in the off lane if you feel like you can get kills without any allies being, you know, nearby. I haven't used it because, you know, most of the time you get kills in the early game by getting like help from your jungler or something. But I don't know, you could probably use this like on a very good card. You get 350 gold, so that's a lot of gold. Gain 120 movement speed for 180 seconds. Damn. This is actually like a really cool card. I've used it before. It's a consumable, so I usually like get it, I use it, and then I slot like another card, and then I go out of my base, and you have movement speed for like a long time. You have it for 2 minutes. It's pretty, no, 3 minutes. Pretty damn cool. Actually really good. If it's in the late game and you're a jungler and you need to focus on your positioning, I really recommend this card. It's awesome. Mana recovery. Restore 100 mana per second for 30 seconds. Effect ends when mana is full. This is an insanely crazy consumable that gives you a crap ton of mana, but it's a consumable, so once you use it, you will only have like 2 other cards left. But damn, this is an insane card. Gives you so much mana regen for 30 seconds. It literally fills your whole mana bar up. I've used it before. It's insane. Scholar. Increase max mana by 1% and power by 1% when purchasing intellect. So basically, this is an early game card. You slot it, and you want to keep this card and keep slotting intellect. It will increase your mana and your power by 1%, which is actually a lot more than it sounds. And there's other cards like this that go like how many attribute points you have. They're usually like early game cards, and once you're leveling up your intellect tree, you'll just be gaining power and mana like during the whole way while you have the card slotted. Once you take it off, you'll lose all that power and mana, unfortunately. But I think once you if you slot it again, you'll keep the mana that you built up. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But I think I've used this card like 1 time, so I don't know. Mana Shout. Restore 125 mana to nearby allies. I've actually used this on Richter when I was playing support, so I can give myself mana for my pulls. And it's also really good for, you know, just your allies or casters. You can give them 125 mana instantly. And it's on an 85-second cooldown, and it costs you no mana, so which is really, really nice. Austral Leap. Blink, teleport forward 150 units, cannot be used after 8 seconds after taking damage from an enemy hero. This is basically Teleblink. This is Teleblink. You consume 75 mana, you teleport, it's on 50-second cooldown. It only costs 4 intellect, which is actually really nice. I've used this so many times, and it's still a good card. It's still a really good card. Blink is awesome. Such a great card. Power up, permanently increase your power by 15%. This is a consumable. You spend 4,000 gold, and that converts it to 15 power. Really straightforward. If you're looking for extra power, maybe you're playing a carry or a jungler, you can use one of these and you'll get more power. Golden Touch. Destroy target minion and gain 150 bonus gold and 30 experience. This is an active card. It's on a 90-second cooldown, and you gain 75 mana. It's basically like Wukong's passive when he gets extra economy from killing minions that are marked. It's basically the same exact thing, but it gives you gold, and it also gives you experience. And it's an active card, so you can keep using it. Arcane Dancer. Spell protection. Reduce ability damage taken by 85% for 6 seconds. This is really good if you're trying to be a tanky hero. Like, for example, you can use it in the middle of a Gideon ultimate if you get caught in a Gadget ultimate, a Gideon ultimate, or any sort of like ability ultimate, or just ability in general. You can activate this card, and it's going to mitigate a lot of the damage that you take from that. So it's really good like on tanky heroes. And you can keep using it. It's an active card. It doesn't dismantle. You get health and power as well. I've used it before on Greystone and on Iggy. I used it on Iggy and Scorch. Really great card. Immobility trap. This is really interesting. I actually use this card as well. You place a trap that arms after 1.2 seconds and lasts for 120 seconds for 2 minutes. And it's basically Murdoch's static trap. They brought it back, guys. They brought back Murdoch's static trap in a card. I used this on Iggy and Scorch, and it worked alright, but I can see the potential in this card. You can put down a static trap by like raptors or like by a jungle exit so you don't get ganked, or you can put it by, you know, prime. If they try to contest it, they have to go through the trap. It's really awesome. And you could put a lot of these down. I don't know how many you can put down. I think I've put 3 down in a row. So I think you could put a crap ton of them if you really need them. It's actually a really fun card. I actually recommend using this card. It's actually a really good zoning tool. And gain power equal to 1% of your mana. This is empowering mana. And you also gain 4% max mana whenever you deal damage to enemy hero, up to 300 max mana. So this is a really good mana card if you're mana hungry, like caster or something like that. Weaken, reduce target enemy's attack speed by 30 and basic damage by 30 for 5 seconds. This is kind of like a utility card, which is really rare for like the knowledge affinity. It's actually a card that you can use for your team as well. A lot of these are like self-utility cards, but this one's actually really good to use it against like a carry or just, you know, somebody who's harassing you maybe, I guess. I haven't used this, so I don't know. Powerful spells, ability damage increased by 10%. Nothing special there. Gives you lots more damage. Ice Burst. After using an ability, your next basic attack will deal 125 ability damage in an area and slow the movement speed of targets hit by 150 for 1.5 seconds. This is a really good crowd control ability. It's kind of like Ash of the Witch, but with your abilities, and then using your basic attack. So it's kind of like a hybrid of Ash of the Witch, basically. Hide. Enter the shadow plane for as long as you are stationary after 2 seconds. Build up 40% damage per second, up to 400 ability damage that is dealt to nearby enemies when you end this effect. This is a really good card. This is a really good card to use in the mid lane, just to trip out your enemies. Like, it just fucks with people. It's so funny. You'll stand there and you go invisible, and then they'll think you went somewhere, or like it's a fun card. I like this card. It's fun. This is Stasis Gem. Basically, stasis yourself for 2.5 seconds. It costs 6 intellect and 2 vitality. It's an active card. The OG Stasis Gem is still in the game, which I'm glad it's still in the game. It's a good card. Gag Order. Silence target enemies for 3 seconds. The target takes 15 increased damage. This is basically like Richter's Silence, but it also increases the damage, and it's an active card. And it's for a target enemy as well. Ice Blast. Deal 250 ability damage to nearby enemies and apply a 200 movement speed slow for 3 seconds. Active card. Pretty good card. I haven't used this one though. And Feebling Shout. Reduce ability armor of nearby enemies by 30 for 6 seconds. My bad. Another good debuff card if you're looking for a little bit more utility. And that's it for the knowledge card. Let's go to order. This is basically a Shadow Ward. You place a Shadow Ward, you get 2 charges. Obviously, I've used that card. And actually, I've used it on a carry deck. I made a carry and chaos deck. It's really good to stay alive. 20% chance to reduce basic attack damage taken by 50%. Really good if you're trying to be tanky. Gain 15 basic damage for 4 seconds after entering combat. It's a really good beginning card for a carry. Teleport to an ally structure. This is basically what's that one card called that nobody uses? I forgot the name of it, but it's 3 intellect. This is a really good beginner card for support if you're trying to just teleport fast to your allies, like in the safe lane. It's a really good card to just get there faster. It's a really good early game card. You and nearby allies gain 5% health, 5 health regen. Healing Aurora. This is basically Circlet of Health. Minion block Aurora. Nearby allies block 4 damage from minions. I guess this is good in some situations. I haven't used it, and I don't know what situation we use this against. I guess it's good to counter another card that we'll mention later that I'll show you. Place a Shadow Ward to reveal nearby enemies and grant 12 basic armor to nearby allies. It's basically a Shadow Ward, and it gives you basic armor and an Aurora. Good for a support card. This one's actually really interesting. Protect structures. All allied structures are immune to damage for 6 seconds. This is a great counter split pushing card against a Wukong, or if they're trying to take an inhib, or if they're trying to siege your towers. Great card for support to counter a siege. Really good card. However, oh no, it's not a consumable. It's just an active card. You use 1,000 gold and 4 intellect. I've used this card one time, but the game ended, and I only used it one time. But it's actually really good. It's actually really nice. You can make some crazy plays with it. Hamstring. Reduce enemy movement speed by 80%. Effect fades over 4 seconds. This is basically like the Shockwave card. I've used Shockwave before, and this is still a great card for crowd control. Minion Leader Aurora. Nearby friendly minions gain 150 max health and 40 movement speed. Minions buff me. Gain 25 basic damage when near an allied minion. This is insane on Greystone, Wukong, or any sort of siege heavy hero. Freaking insane card to have. I love this card. I've used it before on Wukong, and it's freaking boss. It's so awesome. I love this card. Heal Aurora. Heal nearby allies for 225 health every 45 seconds. And increase frequency of healing by 2% per attribute point purchase in any attribute tree. It doesn't say intellect or vitality or anything of that. This is basically quenching scales, but a little bit amplified quenching scales. Shield Link. Shield yourself and target ally for 15% of your max health. This is really good on like your support if you're building tanky. Based off your max health, it'll give you a big damage shield for like your carry, so really good. Heal nearby allies for 275 health and give them 24 basic armor. This is basically quenching scales, the OG version of quenching scales. Ability slow. Ability damage slows enemy movement speed by 150 for 1 second. So this is basically like Shockwave. I mean, Ash of the Witch, but for your abilities. Dealing damage to an enemy, reduce their ability armor by 12. You gain true vision of the target for 10 seconds. This is really good for like Kallari or Wraith. And damn, Kallari and Wraith are really powerful in past V42, so this actually might be a really good pickup to counter a hero like that. Overhealing shield. Gain a shield for any healing above max health, 20% maximum. This basically gives you a health shield when you have max health over 20% of your maximum health. Really good card. I've used this card on a carry actually. Really good card. I might make a build video on a carry soon. I have this card in there and it's freaking amazing. Basic attacks have 30% chance to remove a debuff from you. I haven't used it, but it's a good cleansing card, like kind of like Hunter's Galv on a carry, I guess, if you need it. This is actually really interesting. Group stasis. Stasis yourself and all nearby ally heroes for 2.5 seconds. Now you're wondering, why would you use this card like on yourself and on your enemies? Well, this card could interrupt ultimates. If an enemy getting ults, you can use this card and it'll cancel his ultimate. So it's really good to counter like wombo combos, or it's just really good to stasis, freeze time, and like wait for your allies to rotate to the fight that are not near you, and it can make some great plays. So it's really good on support heroes. Nearby allies gain 22 attack speed and 18% basic armor. This is basically like rally the troops, increase your attack speed. Again, good on supports. Shielding strikes. Gain shield equal to 20% of basic damage dealt. This card is so cool on a carry, man. Fucking awesome card. I use this card in my carry build, and it gives me like shield every basic attack, and I'm shooting super fast, and I'm doing a lot of damage, so it's actually really good on carries. Try it out once you get the chance. It's freaking awesome. Area defense, nearby allies units gain 100% chance to block 50 basic damage for 8 seconds. Active cards, and it's just a good, you know, tanky card again, if you're trying to get some tanky in there. Percent health increase max health by 15%. Increase max health by 1% per attribute point purchase. This is an insanely tanky card in the late game if you're looking to get really tanky. It gives you 565 health as well. Really crazy card. Basic damage, gain 25 basic damage. Increase basic damage by 1.5 per attribute point purchase. Again, another great late game card if you're looking to get damage. And that's it for the order. Let's go to Death. Death is my favorite affinity. There's some crazy effects in there that I just love, and I just love this affinity, so let's get right into it. Basic attacks execute enemy minions below 20% maximum max health. If you struggle with last hitting, consider using this card in a carry deck. You will love it, especially if you suck at last hitting like I do. Cannibalize minion. Sacrifice an allied minion and regenerate health equal to 10% of its current health. This is an awesome card in the off lane. If you're looking for an off-lane sustain card, consider getting this card. It's really nice. Really, really nice. I've used it before, and it gives you really good sustain. Structure Rush. 90 movement speed when near structures. I have this card. I've used it before. It's a really good early game card. It only costs 1 vitality point. So if you invest 1 vitality point, you can just pick this card and discard it later. And it just allows you to rotate a lot faster to your tower in the early game. Ruin Power, gain 3 power when an enemy structure is destroyed. It's a cursed card. I haven't used it. I mean, I don't know how good cursed cards are. I think I used one of them before and it was alright. But the reason they have cursed cards is to give you a big early game advantage. But again, I don't have much experience with them, so I mean, they might be really good. I might do like a build off cursed cards to give you like insane early game power. Again, another cursed card. Every 10 seconds, gain 12 experience and lose 60 gold. I actually can see this card being freaking amazing. Slot this in the early game, obviously, but you can't take it off. But you're going to gain a lot of experience. So this might be a really great pickup, actually. But it's cursed, so keep that in mind. Gain 12.5 health regen. Again, this might be a good early game card. It's a curse card. It's only 3 vitality points. Spell Penetration. 12 ability armor penetration. Pretty basic card. Gives you ability pen for the mid game or the early game. 22 basic armor penetration. Same thing as the last one. Gives you ability basic armor penetration. Unholy Gaze. Target enemy hero to reduce attack speed by 30 and movement speed by 100 for 2.5 seconds. In addition, reveal all enemy heroes for 6 seconds. I've used this card and it's freaking pretty good. It's pretty damn good. It gives you vision. This is one of those cards that gives you vision. As you may have noticed, there isn't a lot of wards in patch V42. The only time you get wards is in the order affinity or with other cards that give you like Shadow Plane or cards like this that give you vision. So wards are not as prevalent in patch V42. Just to give you a heads up, there are other forms of vision like this card, which I think is a great pickup for the early and mid game to have most of the game. This is a great card. It's a good card. It gives you vision wherever you want on any hero anytime. Smoke Screen. Enter Shadow Plane for 3 seconds after passing through a fog wall. This is the card they were teasing in the community corners. If you've been listening to those, it's Veil Stepper. Really good card for ganking. I've used it on some junglers and it can make for some really awesome plays if you're trying to get ganks going. Sacrificial Magic. Lose 3% of your max health and restore 2% of your max mana per second. This is an awesome card on Zincs. If you can sacrifice your health for extra mana, this is a great card. Hence, Zincs can use this card and benefit from it in the mid game. Isolate. Deal 35 bonus basic damage to enemy units without a nearby ally. I haven't used this card, but I mean, I could see how it can work if you're off laning or something. You could deal extra damage. Unstable Purification. Purify yourself and deals 75 ability damage to nearby enemies per negative effect that is removed. I haven't used this card, but it sounds pretty interesting. I hope to use this card in the future as well. Hunter's Pierce. Ignore basic armor against critically wounded targets. Basic attacks apply blight to critically wounded targets. Again, I mean, I've never been a fan of critically wounded cards, even before patch V42, so I don't know how good this card may be. I don't know, I haven't used it. Debuff Aurora attack speed. Nearby enemies have their attack speed slow by 25%. This is basically a passive card. Every time you're near somebody, it's just gonna decrease their attack speed, which is a good debuff card if you're looking for a little bit more utility. This is insane. Shadow Ambush. Enter Shadow Plane and gain 50 movement speed for 15 seconds. Attacking an enemy from the Shadow Plane applies a 400 movement speed slow for 1 second. This basically gives you Kalari's Shadow Ambush or Shadow Dance or whatever it's called. You can turn invisible. This card is nasty on Countess or like a Seraph or anybody who has really high burst and can assassinate people like super fast, like freaking Countess. Amazing, freaking amazing. Or Kalari, I guess you can use it on Kalari. We'll see. I don't know. I don't play Kalari, so. Oh my god, this is probably one of my most favorite cards in the game. Since I'm an off-lane main, I've used this card so many times, and I've actually made some really good plays in the playtest using this card. Toxic Horde. The card is Awaken the Emmerich. Convert all nearby minions to your team and grant all nearby minions Death Touch and Drain Life. Oh my god. I love this card. This is the best card ever in the whole world, man. Put this on a Wukong or a Greystone to take inhibitors or like a tower super fast and like change the whole siege game around. Like, imagine the enemy is barreling down your lane with a huge minion wave and you activate this and it turns their minions against them, and it's like, nope, you're not getting inhibitor, nope, you're not getting the core, or nope, you're not getting my tier 2. It's such an awesome card. It does cost a lot of points to slot it, and it does have a high cooldown, but if you know how to use it, it's an awesome card. Freaking awesome card. Toxin. Deal 50 damage per second to target enemy for 18 seconds. This damage cannot kill a unit though. A good debuff card to harass people. You can basically chunk people down with this. It's kind of like Tainted Magic, but a little bit different. Blight Aurora. Nearby enemies have Blight. Slow the movement speed of nearby enemies by 80%. This is actually a really powerful card to counter Phase, Chimera, or Rampage, or Narbash. It reduces their healing and also reduces their movement speed, so that's actually really nice. I haven't used this card, but I am very, very sure I will use this card in the future when I get to play more games with this. Patch V42. Blood Damage Aurora. Deal 125 ability damage to yourself and 125 ability damage to nearby enemy units per second. Death has a lot of cards like this that deal damage to yourself but deal damage to like the enemy. This cards can be really cool like on tanks, and it could chunk people down. It's like a risk reward type of thing they have going on, but they're really interesting. It makes for some really interesting gameplay mechanics which I love in this patch. And I haven't used this card yet, but I want to explore like a lot of these death cards that I haven't used yet. I've used a lot of them, but this is one of them again that I haven't used yet. Creeping Death. Launch a slow moving projectile that deals 300 true damage. If this brings targets below 15 maximum health, they are dead. It's an active card. It's on a 60-second cooldown. Again, a very interesting card, and it looks like a very powerful late game card. Sacrificial Link. Create a link with an enemy hero. Both heroes take 8% max health and ability damage per second. Continues until the link is broken by distance or interrupts. I've used this on a very tanky build, and I've used this on like on a carry, and it chunks them down pretty fast. It's actually a really great card to like chunk somebody down. But again, it's one of those cards that's a risk reward. You also do damage to yourself, so you need to be careful when you use it. Overflowing Feast. Crazy late game card. Gain 150% lifesteal for 3 seconds, and you get 10% lifesteal passively. So insane burst lifesteal. If you're about to die, you activate this card and you will get a crap ton of health back. So that's good on the carry as well. So that's the death cards, and last but not least, we got Chaos. Honestly, Chaos it's good on carries, but it's honestly the most boring affinity because a lot of these cards are just a lot of stats. So the OG Paragon cards, let's say, whatever you want, where you upgrade cards and shit. Deal 12 bonus damage to non-hero any units and structures. So it's good on minions and on towers. It's a good pickup card if you're trying to take the tower early in the early game in the carry and support lane, the safe lane. Basic attacks grant a stack of 2 basic armor for 10 seconds. This effect can stack. I've actually used this on a growth Chaos Chimera build. With his Unleashed, you can get your basic armor up pretty damn fast, so it's good for Chimera. I've used it on him if you want to be tanky. Grant True Sight and a 1,500 radius around your hero. It's a combustible, so if you die, you'll lose this card. This is very good to counter a Kallari if you're going against a Kallari as a carry in the off lane. So I do have this in my carry deck if I ever go against Kallari, because again, Kallari in past V42 is actually really damn good. Your next ability costs 0.2 less to cast. Pretty self-forward, pretty self-explanatory, I mean. Wealthy Minions. Earn 55 bonus gold for enemy minions killed. I've used this card in a carry deck. It's a high risk, high reward card. It's a combustible, so if you die, you will lose this card. You basically have to make sure you can survive as a carry if you want to get the most benefit out of this card, and will give you an increase in economy. So be careful when you use combustibles in general, but they will benefit you if you survive and can stay alive. Gain 137.8 movement speed for 3.3 seconds. This is a great early game card. I have it again in my carry deck. It allows me to survive, to escape ganks or something like that. And it's a really good early game card for a carry to just stay alive. Like, I'll have this card, and then I'll have this card as well, so I can make sure I stay alive in game to like farm and stuff. Fleet-footed. Increase movement speed by 8% whenever you attack or are attacked. Your movement speed is reduced by 4% for 15 seconds. So, what the hell? I haven't seen this card. Increase movement speed by 8%. Whenever you attack or are attacked, your movement speed is reduced by 4. Oh, it's okay. I get it. It's a passive. So basically, you will have a movement speed when you're not getting attacked, but when you're getting attacked, it slows you down. Against, it's kind of like a high reward, high risk kind of card. I think I haven't used this, so I don't know. Dash forward 1,000 units. Hero kills reset this card's cooldown. This is basically like a blink card, so you can teleport forward. Gain 32 attack speed and 100 movement speed for 6 seconds. You take 15% additional damage while this effect is active. This is basically what's that called? Hemorrhage. This is basically hemorrhage in the new past V42. Fireball. Launch a fireball, dealing 150 ability damage and burning for 200 ability damage over 4 seconds. You launch a big ass fireball and it does damage. Pretty self-explanatory. Savagery. Gain 100 basic damage. 7,000 gold. It's a combustible. High investment. Gives you a lot of power, but if you die, you lose all that power. Again, high risk, high reward. I have this in my carry deck, and it's actually my late game build. I have this card and like 2 other cards that give me sustain. And it's really good card, but again, it's one of those cards. You need to stay alive. You need to be very, very smart in deciding which fights to go in. Because if you die, you have to get 7,000 gold again to get all that damage back. Giant Slayer. Deal 2 bonus damage to targets with more vitality than you. Amount is increased by vitality difference. This is good to counter tanks or people who are very tanky in the enemy team. If they have a lot of vitality, which is vitality gives you more health and health regen, it will do more damage against those heroes. Remove 20% current mana from nearby enemy heroes, dealing ability damage equal to mana removed. Again, you sacrifice mana, and you get extra ability damage. This can be pretty good on like a Zinx. Powerful Strikes, basic damage increased by 15%. Pretty self-explanatory. It's a passive. Roll the Bones. Hero kills reset all basic ability cooldowns. I mean, I haven't used this card, so I'm not sure how that works. All basic abilities, I don't know if that means like all your abilities. I mean, I don't know. Counter attack. Returns 65% of damage taken for 4 seconds. This is really good on a tank, a chaos growth tank. You could have this and activate it when you're taking damage from a carry. So if that carry is doing a lot of damage, they will be hurting themselves, or you can activate this before a team fight. It'll be really good. Arcane Haste. Gain 15 movement speed and 4 attack speed for 6 seconds when you cast an ability. Stacks up to 5 times. This could be really good like on a caster if you use a lot of abilities, or maybe on a carry you can use it like on Twin Blast Grenade. Give you movement speed and attack speed, and you can keep stacking it up. So it'll be good on a lot of heroes. 20% chance to deal 125 ability damage to all nearby enemies when taking damage. Passive card. It looks like a good debuff card. I haven't used it yet. When casting an ability, damage nearby enemy heroes for 8 seconds for 8% of their current health as ability damage. Really good card. Again, deal extra damage. Desperate Strikes. Deal 1 additional basic attack damage for every 60 missing health. So if you're about to die, again, you can use this on a health or on a carry. You'll be dishing out extra damage before you die. But it'll be really good like on a tank. If you're about to die, you just do more damage before you die. Mighty Strikes. Attack speed is reduced by 65. Every 8 seconds, your basic attack deals 300% bonus damage. I've seen Kalaris in the playtest use this card out of stealth. And oh my god, the burst potential. A lot of Kalari players are going to be using this. If you're a Kalari main, this is your card right here. Right here is your card. Freaking insane. Basic attacks have 20% chance to deal 100% bonus damage. As you've noticed, critical strike chance has been really nerfed in patch V42 because you attack so fast in this patch and you deal more damage, so you really don't need critical strikes. But again, if you want critical chance, you still have that option with this card by having a 20% chance to deal 100% bonus damage. Red Zone. This card is really crazy, man. It costs a lot of agility gems and vitality and intellect gems, so it takes a lot to get this card. It's a really late game card, but nearby heroes both deal and receive 50% bonus damage. I don't know, man. This is a very high risk, high damage card. I don't know. I haven't used it yet, but I don't know, man. This is like a crazy card. I want to use it and see how it works. Like, is it 50% damage? That's insane. And that's basically all the cards right there, guys. Growth, knowledge, order, death, chaos. That was a long video. Hopefully you guys got an idea of some of the cards that are going to be coming out. Some theory crafting. Some potential decks you can make. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave down below which card you are excited to try out. Me personally, I really enjoyed the death cards. Leave a comment down below which card was your favorite, which card you are interested to try out, or some different card combinations or different affinity combinations you are looking to use for your heroes. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's your boy Raptors, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.